Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal,
I'm Sunny,
aka
Henry and Sangita.
I wonder if Cal is ever like, no, I'm Cal. I'm Cal.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, Cal Vanoni is like, why is this? What's happening
But
here?
we've never said his name any other way.
No, he's like, why are you saying I'm Cal?
Oh, okay, I get it now because your name is not Cal. His name is Cal, but you call yourself Cal, and Cal's like, no, I'm Cal. Me, not you.
Yes.
Me.
He's assaulting me.
I'm just holding your hand. Anyway, bases I finished. I got these and more at a game store. These are from Secret Weapon. They have been out of business for a while. I'll keep them as they are. Oh, so are these... Do they come like that?
So I think how he got them was like these as resin.
Is it?
Yeah, so and then he painted them.
Well, how do you know it's resin?
Because if it's Secret Weapon, it's probably resin.
Oh, okay. Sure thing then.
Alright, so
I think they look nice.
Let us take a look. Yes, they do look nice.
I like the grass the most, the grass with the skulls, because I don't
think that is grass. I think that's like moss and stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, I do believe so.
Because
But all of these bases are perfect. Like, they have the right amount of stuff on each of them.
Yeah. And the painting that you've done with all of them is
very nice.
Very nice. Because there's high contrast. I can see everything that's going on there. Great color choice. And everything pops.
Yeah,
you know?
like, these are the only ones which don't have high contrast. And they look really good. They look exactly like what they should. These, the green against the bone, which is, some nice cools against some warms.
Warm tones.
And, like, same over here, with the exception of this one, maybe. But I think that they all look pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's none of them where I look at them and I'm like, oh, that could be better. But it did look like I think he might have doubled up on this pose. But it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I don't mind.
Well, to be fair, we have had moments where we post it and then it didn't post.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm posting it again.
Well, like, these things absolutely shot off, but...
And then it stopped shooting.
Yeah, and we're like, what is happening here? Like, people really like them, and then it just stopped.
That's the thing that boggles our minds. It's like we can never... When a video starts to progress really quickly in the views, when it's like shooting really fast, really high, you start to get concerned because that's when it gets plateau very early as well.
I think the weirdest thing about this, right, is they're virtually the same video, right?
Yeah.
And like one of it is like, I think has like a very high percentage of dislikes, and the other one has no dislikes. And I'm like...
What's wrong with this?
Yeah, I'm like...
There's nothing controversial about this, man.
They're the same video. What is happening?
It's just the same video, just one is brown.
Essentially, yes. Alright, so next up...
The cat.
We have Alan O'Brien. Would you like to read up?
Alas, I just have not had time for painting lately. Between the kids, work, etc., plus nursing a sick cat back to health and trying to stay in shape, painting has been too hard to fit in. I dabbled with this guy for an afternoon a few weeks ago. That's about it. Still, hopefully you enjoy.
Alright, well, let's take a look.
Also,
there is a picture of cat.
Little kitty. So sweet.
Alright, so let's hear your thoughts.
Well, I mean, of course, it's classic Alan, the way he started everything out with great color choice. And I think he's going for one of those cool shadows and warm light effects, as he usually does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's looking really good. It almost close to finishing in a way, because he's got like some of the large... Yeah, the larger parts of this model is more or less done. So I wonder if this is another competition piece or what?
I think that's pretty much all Alan does now, like to this sort of level. I think that's what he enjoys. But the thing I noticed about it the most was you could see the direction of light.
Yeah.
You know?
I really like the detailing that he's managed to bring out with the beard. Yeah, it looks really like one of those 2D realism paintings, more or less. Yeah. And I think he's always been able to get that across in his models.
Well, see, the thing that I think is really good is the freckles.
Oh,
they
yeah,
don't
the freckles.
They don't seem like over
the top or anything.
Yeah,
Very natural looking.
They look natural. I think that's the big thing, because often when I see people do freckles and such, usually what they'll look like is they'll look like quite stark, quite alien.
You're probably meant to use like maybe a watered down wash or something and just splash it with the toothbrush splatter effect.
I think that was way too precise for that.
You
but
think?
yeah,
Okay.
I think it's looking good. You know, it's certainly coming along. All right, so next up we have Lee Hobbins.
Lee Hobbins. Haven't seen him in a while. I wonder if this is his first post, but
No, he has posted before.
Okay,
I'm certain of this.
Well, I said that this is the Captain Marvel one that Joseph has painted once before, and it's looking really good. Like, I do think the blue is very smoothly done. And I'm not sure. I think he might have used the black wash over the red sash.
Well, it does seem very dark compared to the blue, which seems quite vibrant.
I think the blonde hair has come out very natural and looks good.
Actually, I was going to say the opposite on that one.
Really?
I was going to say that was the major fault that I found with the piece, because like I feel like it's too yellow.
Is it? I feel like it looks like one of those more yellow blonde but still natural looking.
I don't know. It just, that's the bit that feels off to me. I don't mind him not doing eyes in this, because I don't really think that they've really truly sculpted eyes in these ones.
Yeah.
Or at least
it's just like indents. Some models just do that.
Yeah, and it feels as if like he'd have to actually paint eyes on himself
manually
rather than, paint an eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just fill it in with paint essentially.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, like, I'm not sure what level he's going for, but if he's going for tabletop, he definitely reached it. But I think there are things that could be improved. But if he's going for tabletop, he's hit his target.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have JoJo.
Tail Spinner Titan for Aeon Trespass. I like painting Titans because they all wear masks so my eyes can't make Henry cry. This should leave me with just 9 models to go. Woo 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 woo. But thanks to Black Friday, there's up to 22 more models on the way. Oh no!
But yeah, no, I know what he's saying, but like honestly, like eyes is like the only thing that Joseph does badly, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's also the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
In a painting model, yeah. And
I think that the black skins come out well in this, don't you?
Oh, is that meant to be black skin?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Because I thought it was like a dark purple suit thing going
on. No, I don't think so. Because like, take a look at the knee. And along the muscles along here, and like the muscles along there.
It does look quite glossy to me.
Look, that skin looks that way a lot of the time.
I suppose, yeah. It's true. Darker skin tend to look more reflective in the light as well.
Yeah.
And I would say, I think maybe the gold, maybe he's gone back to his usual way of doing gold in this one.
No, so look. Here's the thing. He's gone for a bright gold look. You can tell right here. So you can see that he's done the darker shadows and that sort of thing, and he's tried to do a brighter highlight here. I don't think it is as effective, but that's why, I usually do the more brass looking gold, as you say.
It's the shadow.
Yeah, because like the darker the shadow, the brighter the highlight looks.
Yeah, and this one looks very much like a yellow gold.
Yeah, it does
that
look
he's
like
got.
a yellow gold, like a bright yellow
Yeah.
gold. But I think it looks good. Like
Yeah, I've got great basing there, and
there's nothing. I look at this and I'm just like, oh, like that looks off.
I'm very impressed usually with Joseph's color choice because you've paired that very. So the skin.
I'd say that this is probably from the card because he tries to be very faithful to the card.
Okay, fair enough.
And
another icky looking base here. That,
it looks like a pit
worm.
of maggots or
Ew.
something. I think this is some of his best work because I think it's come out really well.
Yeah, and it gives the feeling of that grotesqueness of whatever it is that it is. I don't even want to look at it anymore. I can feel it crawling.
All right.
Oh, I love this post. I love this post because of the caption. Real superheroes save lives, such as the traffic lights.
Don't get it.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Okay.
Because it's like one of those lame jokes, because it's true.
What?
Maybe he wasn't joking.
What?
I don't know. The traffic lights are saving people's lives because you don't get into a car accident.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna nod my head at this point.
I like the green man.
But yes, I like the little men in the stop signs. I think that they look good. I think that overall, it looks very good. It's very readable.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing when it comes to these, right?
Like terrain pieces is to work with the environment. They're not meant to look like super detailed.
If somebody comes in and they're super critical of terrain, that's where I'm like, dude, come on.
Yeah.
I think there are reasons to be, but I mean, I think this is perfect. It does its job.
Yeah.
You've drawn little dudes on there.
Yeah.
It does everything it's meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where I think you can really stay. We're going really over the top with our terrain project.
Yeah, but we're going for a particular look, so there is that. But yeah.
And yes, at the moment, I'm perhaps I'm over it. But this was the thing, that Justin said that they looked like sliced tomatoes.
Yeah, I guess they do look a little like sliced.
Certain ones did, these ones right here looked like sliced tomatoes to me, but then this one right here, I'm like, well, that's clearly some sort of fungus.
So there's a fungus, isn't it?
Yeah, it is definitely a fungus. But I really love the way that he's done the basing here. It's just,
I really like that. The thing is with these bases that he's been making, he's really showing off his skill with using desaturated base colors, and then you've got saturated fungus on top.
Yeah,
and
you've got great color theory.
And then you've got nice sort of cool green, like a bluish green underneath the super bright reds, and then you've got, I guess, the maggots and the dirt.
Yeah,
it's a bit more
great value contrast.
Yeah, so you've got a bit of that brownish yellow tone, so it's a contrast of the cool and the warm there. It's very subtle. If you turn it into black and white, that whole ground cover will pretty much look the same.
Yeah,
in value, but
that's something that we got to do so that I can use that one and.
This is the thing that flips it around.
Yeah, we got to get a thing which will make it black and white.
I wonder if they have that. Yeah,
they probably do have an app for that.
All right, well, let us continue on. I guess it does look a little bit like a pizza.
Yes. Oh, and the reason why I didn't have Member Monday on this is because I think this was the second or third time because Facebook was playing silly buggers. But yeah, it seems like we are growing again.
Yay, growth.
Yes, and as always, guys, thank you very much for welcoming these people. The biggest thing is when new people come in and if they get comments on their post, if they get replies, if people talk to them, if people like their stuff, go for it.
Yeah.
All right, so
I see something about.
Oh yes, yes. So I asked here if you guys would like Flashback Fridays,
Yeah.
and you guys were very keen for it. But I have the distinct feeling that we're going to get some more flashbacks from people once our Friday is finished, because we live very much in the future.
Yeah.
So like, don't worry if if it's your Friday, whatever.
It's your Friday. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But yes, I saw this and it's like I felt like it was very correct, and I'm like, would you like to read it out?
Okay, the amateur believes he must first overcome his fear. Then he can do his work. The professional knows that fear can never be overcome. He knows there is no such thing as a fearless warrior or a dread-free artist.
And so I just modified that quote ever so slightly.
Yes, look at that.
Dread-free
Hobbyist Henry.
Writer Henry, yes.
I like that it's so poorly written because you have to use the mouse to write this. Yeah. It just makes it funnier. Yes. But yeah.
Alright, so these were
Justin.
very, very impressive by Justin Taylor. But what I would have loved to see is some work in progresses to this point.
Yes.
Because I think just so you know, Justin, that's what we are all about. We're all about showing your works in progress so that people can see you can achieve this if you put in enough effort.
Or if you show the steps on how it's achieved, it just goes from the mentality of, I wish I could do that, to this is somehow now more achievable. And that's like a split second change between impossible to possible. It's insane how quick your mind can go from these two completely conflicting beliefs. And that is the power of work in progress. So that's why we've always emphasized showing, you're slogging it through. You've maybe worked on this for weeks. Who knows,
Yeah. Or maybe he just put a whole day into these guys. But there's one thing. I do believe these are Stormcast Eternal models. But whoever first made this change, the change to the Crusader helmet, instead of that of the
mask, the golden mask, guys.
Yeah. This always looks so much better.
I guess because it's very traditional. The golden mask does give it a bit of a, eerie feeling. Yeah. Because it's hollowed out eyes and they all look the same. And
yeah, I get it. But see, this feels so much more real.
Very heroic as well.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yes, no. But so the first thing that I notice is great use of contrast. The steel's quite bright, even though he's put some rust effects into them. Right? He's got some great color contrast with the moss and with the very bright bark. Right? And of course, the little tombstone right there. And just little things like that. But also you can have a decent idea of where the light's coming from because of the bird. Right? I think all of those things are good.
And I've mentioned in the comments that it was a really nice use of, I believe it's adjacent complementary. Yes, adjacent complementary purple and violet and amber. Violet and amber. And I thought, yes, looking good.
Yeah, well, I would say that it's mostly amber due to the rust,
Yeah.
But it does look as if he's used a bit of the dirty down in and around certain areas.
Yes.
And that's really picked up the effect. I think the leatherwork's nice, but I think when it comes to the dirty down rust, he's not been as precise with certain areas. Take a look at this and it looks more like a coffee stain, but up here it looks so rich and vibrant.
Yeah.
And down here it looks good. On there it looks good. It looks like real rust. Whereas here it's just here and here, not as effective. And I think that's one thing that you got to be very careful with the Dirty Down series. It's just, it's It's not that it's inconsistent. It's just that it's got a short work time, would you say?
Yeah, it definitely has a time frame for you to get the effect quickly, especially if you're using heat. You have to use heat with it if you want to get that nice orange bloom.
Yeah.
So we usually heat the model, heat the item, sorry, not the item, the dirty down bottle itself. We usually pour it out into another glass and then put that glass in a ramekin that has boiling hot water. That'll heat the dirty down rust, and then we brush that onto a heated model, and then we hair dryer the dirty down that's been applied until it blooms.
Yeah, no, because like you take a look at certain things, right? Like I feel it's the same with this helmet here, right? So it just seems like some of its placement is haphazard. Like I think that it's come out really, really good in certain areas. Like I think with this strong contrast against the purple, it's perfect. I think down here it's come out really well. But got every insect, sorry, not insect.
Sorry, the wind is blowing and all the tree barks are falling onto the roof.
And all of the animals outside are screaming as well. The apocalypse outside, and we're just quietly doing this.
Just like, now we move on to the next topic of quiet painting.
Stop it. You absolute gibbon.
Well, there is a bird that literally sounds like the alarm clock
yeah.
going off, and I'm just like, okay, thank you, bird.
But yeah, I feel like the leather really shines with all of this. But I think, like, overall, I'd be pretty happy with it. I'd say, character level plus.
He's used dirty down moss too.
Yeah, no, that's what I told.
That.
That's what I told you at the start. The moss on the logs.
Oh, okay.
But I think this cloak here could use with some more contrast, like because it's just so bright here, right? And then the shadows don't feel shaded enough.
Yeah, it looks a bit overexposed. Is that what
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
But yeah, I think overall, like it's a great piece. But when somebody puts something up like this, because I think this is of a higher quality, it's hard to give the critique unless the person really says what they're aiming for.
Yeah.
Because we look at this, right? And if this is your tabletop, well done. But like the thing is, we don't know what you're aiming for, so we're trying to give feedback that is appropriate for you.
Yeah.
Because we want to tell you what you've done well and where you can improve, and our aim is to help you grow, not to bring you down.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so yes. Even more masking. Like I feel like we've never stopped masking.
Yeah, I feel like the masking is now sort of the slogging that has surpassed the filing.
Oh yes. Oh my god, you're not wrong. I'm just gonna move on. So Paul Ewog has Paul.
Thunder.
Do you want to read this out?
Okay, hello everyone, I'm Paul from Canada, currently working on priming a bunch of assorted miniatures, Star Wars Legion, Transformers, Muppets, and Marvel Crisis Protocol. I'm usually off for a couple of months in the winter, so I keep myself busy with painting. I'll post a few pics of the minus getting primer. Okay, all I have been primed with
Steinel Res?
Okay, Steinel Res white
I think
primer.
that's the name of that brand.
Okay, white primer. First applied with a sponge brush, then a flat brush, seeks out the spots the sponge could not reach. Then, thanks for adding me. I'll update projects when I get the chance to paint. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, well, what's most interesting about this is the variety and the way that he's priming.
I've never seen Muppet models. It's hilarious.
But yeah, like, there's such a variety of things here and such an unusual way to prime. So, I gotta ask Paul, why do you prime in this way? Nimrod Knight. Yeah, it could be Nimrod. So Nimrod is a Marvel character, and he produces Sentinels. Or no, that's so. I think it's the Ultimate Sentinel or something. I've forgotten, but
and then
you know,
I think he tagged Ron and Patrick in this one.
yeah, no, because I think this is from Iron Maiden, the band.
Oh, okay.
Because like you take a look at the face, and it very much looks like the Iron Maiden face, and it might be an Iron Maiden cover model.
Oh, I didn't realize that. But yeah, I mean, what do you think of the prime job with the the style that he's gone for?
Oh, that's quite a model. The size of it.
This looks very familiar, but I don't know where this is.
Oh, I can't go into that. It'll make me sad because they've made a new movie or something with it, or they're making a new movie with it, and like they've. Never mind. I'm not going to get into it. So I think it looks really interesting. We're going to watch with bated breath.
It looks like almost like a white stone effect, the way that they look at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, maybe. Like that might actually be a good way to do like white stone, like limestone sort of thing.
Limestone, oh.
You know,
I might try this for our other model that I can't mention.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I think we can mention that we have entered, but speaking
we're not allowed. Oh, there we go. The secret's out, everybody.
Yeah. So, James put this up, and he's trying to enter this competition, and then he discovered that he cannot divulge anymore because it might bias opinions, right?
Yeah, but you're not meant to like showcase any of your whips or anything like that for this competition. Yeah.
So James, here's what I'll say: your new painting setup looks awesome. If you want any advice on painting your models, give me a message. Give me a call. We'll set something up, and we can take a look together, and we can talk about it. That's the main thing, right? Just know that you do have support, and I'm sure that there's half a dozen, at least WAYPN members that you could contact privately and just say, could I please have some help from you? Like, I'm not going to name anyone individually, but I will say, like, if you put out a tag there and say, I would like some feedback, I would like some help, people, I'm sure, would be happy to help you. So,
definitely.
Great new setup. Would you like to read it out before we move up?
I have officially entered the Heretic Haven first ever painting competition, and I've spent the last 3 days moving to a new house. Believe it or not, this is a better setup than I had at my old house, new paint stand, and some Citadel mini holders. The blue box of God tier is what I will be painting up for the competition, and I will be posting updates for review. Yeah, so as we mentioned, you can't do that as per the rules of the competition.
Yeah. So, but he didn't realise that at the time, so...
Are you just saying?
So we'll comment on these once they're finished, because I think he has these finished a little later on.
Okay, and he's following the cards, is he, for these ones as well?
I think so.
Because they look fantastic.
Well, see, these are... those models I showed you up there where it's the starting survivors?
Yeah.
So this is meant to be the starting survivors after 10 years.
Ooh.
Because it's the 10th anniversary edition of...
Okay, yeah, because I see that now with the blue-haired girl.
Yeah, the white-haired guy.
And the white-haired guy. Okay, the white-haired guy didn't really register, but then I saw the blue, and then the red was the next thing that I registered. Yeah, cool.
All right, but yeah, I think that they're looking really good. But we will go... Oh, no. The eye. But these eyes right here aren't that bad.
Yeah. The blue face looks
not the worst, but here looks Looks pretty decent. It's not the best, but I don't know.
It's looking at you, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I definitely think, like, because you take a look at how everything else is done, right? And I know that this is just a work in progress, but you can see, like, everything else is looking good. It's just those eyes. And so one of the reasons why I'm giving him a bit of a hard time about it is because he said, give me a hard time about it.
And he's also already done the rest of the model to such a quality, the eyes.
Oh, yes.
It just sort of breaks everything.
Here's even more pictures of us, masking stuff.
Let's not look at this anymore, honey.
It is so tiring.
It is
because we've literally got it spread out on the table in front of us right now. We're just like,
that's still not done.
Yep.
And we've been doing it for quite a while.
Yes.
But
next up,
coconut Tyranids.
Yes, by Alex Coates. So this is his test model for the coconut crab Tyranids. So I think that this is a fantastic model for a test model. So I think if he's just using the catgut painting method,
catgut? What's that?
The
guy that came up with the scheme.
Yeah, well, I don't think he came up with it, but he certainly popularized it.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
So it's a YouTube channel, Catgut Painting.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I really like this blue here, which adds some visual interest to the model because, like, it all looks very sort of samey, the rest of it, right?
It's monochrome, but it's also very warm, and the cool pink and that icy blue on the side just breaks it up and creates something different. Yes.
I would 100% agree with that. So the only negatives that I'd have to say in any way, right, is your sort of beach side. So I think, your lapping waves look absolutely fantastic. But when you take a look at this, it just doesn't quite feel right.
I think it's because it's like wet to immediately dry surface.
Yeah.
So you need to have the wet and then a bit of wet sand. Sorry, the ocean, the wet sand, and then the dry.
I think that may help. And one of the simple ways of doing that is you could even do that with this, but I don't like the color of the sand because I feel like he's put so much effort into the color of this crab, and like coconut crabs are usually on yellow sandy beaches.
I understand that, but perhaps he was trying to create that contrast again. Because like it's pretty yellowy, like in general. When
you're talking about the sand? No, I'd say the sand is very blue.
No, I'm talking about the Tyrannid.
Yes, it's quite warm.
Warm, yellowy as you look at it. Then if you have like a yellowish sand, it pretty much looks like the Tyrannid. I can understand he's trying to go for a bit of contrast there.
I just feel like if you're trying to do the beach scene, what you're trying to do is a bit of hyper-realism, right?
Yeah.
Like...
maybe a bit of grass tufts or something?
No, that's not going to be on the beach.
Peeking out.
I think do what you've got here, right? And then what I would do is just get some PVA, or if you've got a water effect.
Like the AK water gel.
Oh, the AK water gel is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, you've been using that usually for these sorts of wet soil effect.
But like I've been doing Kill Team for so long that I've forgotten what it looks like. I've forgotten what unmasked models look like.
But it does smell just like PVA glue, actually, the AK water gel.
Yeah, but like it smells like more intense PVA.
PVA glue, yeah.
But anyway, so I would just put that over...
just the tip of the sand. Sorry.
Yes, let me talk.
Okay.
All right, so I would say you put that not only over the blue, but over some of the sand to get the idea that, that's the water rushing up sort of thing. Because I would agree with Sunny on that one, but I just feel like the sand color is off. And like if this is one of your test models, like I think... because the model is absolutely fantastic. And I love the actual, drawn blue surf. But the sand just feels like it's something left to be desired.
I think there's something else that we haven't talked about is that it's a perfect straight line there with the water to the sand.
I'm not as worried about that. Like, sure, I understand what you're saying. You're saying, like, that's not happening in nature.
Yeah, like it's got a bit of a
But, like,
irregular
if you
line.
go to the beach, you will see those lines appear at places, where it's like...
When it's very low tide, it does almost look like a straight line, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not as worried about that as I am about the colour of the sand. So Jason Tate, and he is doing some Tyranids too. Would you like to read out?
Okay, a work in progress. Another Warhammer 40k mini. Some kind of Tyranid bouncy boy. Blocked in the dark blue plating and added a dark pink for the gooey internals. The flesh color is not finalized yet. Just been a bit under the weather this week, so painting has taken a back seat. I started this one before falling crook.
Yep, I wouldn't know anything about that. Zero. Nothing. Zilch. Alright, so I think that very, bright and vibrant blue against the more bright and vibrant pink against the desaturated blue looks very good. I'm not sure what you're going to do with the, flesh color, but I would say that those two things contrast very well. And so you've just basically got to choose what you're going to do with your flesh color. That's pretty much all I would say for now. What do you have to say?
It kind of looks a bit Slaneshi. It gives a bit of Slaneshi vibe.
Yeah. Maybe.
But yeah, I think pretty much same thing. Like the pink really pops with all the desaturated. But if that's your goal, then definitely you have met it. I have a question. What is up with you and James? Everybody seems to have that rainbow poppet thingy at the back. Is that meant to be used as a faux wet palette?
No. So what some people do is they'll put speed paints in there.
Yeah, that's what I thought, like a faux palette or something. And I thought, I see little black paint in there, in the hole there. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Easy to clean because it's silicone.
Davith, you're not going to convince us that you painted these. Because you see that we
look
see
quite
that,
nice.
Yes. But Davith, you have to paint something yourself.
And you go
Goodbye, Davith. Alright, so I think this is the last one we see from
Jojo.
Joseph. Yes. Jojo. Oh yes, Jojo. Sorry. he's got to have like that moment of feeling where he's like, yes, they did it. They did it. But yeah, I think that it looks really good. So here is what I will say. I think that the blue hair has come out well, but I will say that it looks very stark. It doesn't look quite natural. I will say that this blondish hair, for me, that looks quite natural.
I think the bluish hair looks a bit more like very shiny, metallic blue look.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it is a fashion color hair.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, it's a sort of very stylized.
Yeah.
I'm not... Like,
I like it. Just
with the white hair? Are you saying about the white hair?
The white hair, yeah. Just because previously it was pretty white and I blend in with the background, but now I can see some details there, so I'm not too upset about it.
Well, see, it feels... White is so hard to do. And, like, I feel like I'm very much splitting hairs. But I think with this one, right, I feel like it went too dark, or maybe like it went into the wrong color spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
I think. Are you saying because like from what I see, it looks like he started off with a pure white base and then he probably put like a grey contrast on top to bring in the definition and the line.
It looks not like a true neutral anymore. It it looks like it's got a bit of colour added to that grey sort of thing.
Like a warm grey?
Yeah, maybe warm.
Well, to be fair, yes. Natural white hair, natural grey hair is a bit warm because it turned from colour, transition into white. It usually tend to be a bit warm and yellowy.
But is that what the aim is here? Because he's trying to follow the characters. And I'm not sure if I've shown you some of the art from this, but it's very stylized and it feels like he has very cool hair in the thing. That's why I think this looks good, but it looks very stylized.
Yeah.
I think this could pass as real hair.
Yeah.
Right?
It's quite natural.
But I feel like this one's a little off, but I have to say it's very, very similar to the actual character card sort of thing.
Yeah, her hair was pretty much like fire engine red hair, wasn't it? Quite red.
Yeah. But her hair in the pictures, to be fair, is really red. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're really coming along. They're looking great. I like the skin tones. I like how they're coming along. But they're just such great models. I've still yet to open up the Kingdom Death Gambler box.
Yeah, Gambit.
I took a look at it. I opened it up and I'm like, yep, there's stuff in there. And that was pretty much my whole encounter with it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're looking good. I'll be interested to see what he changes from here. All right, Freedom Friday, and then next up we've got.
Ooh.
So that's Carlos Gonzalez?
Yeah, Carlos Gonzalez.
I do believe that's right.
Hello, I'm new to the group. Wanted to share my work in progress.
My group in progress.
Yeah, the mini from Tiny Epic Dungeons.
I'm new to the work. Wanted to share my group in progress.
I think this looks really cool. So far, lots of blue tones. And that striking sort of electric blue color for her outfit looks really good. I think he's going for that gray hair. It matches with the overall blue coal tones.
Yeah. So I think he has free-handed that symbol there, but really I'm not sure. But what is really good is her clothes, right, with the blues. Very, very much contrast against her skin.
Exactly. She's got very warm tan skin and nice bright blue clothing.
Yeah.
A nice a dark corset and the boots to bring in a bit of contrast.
But I feel like the lip color could really be quite a maybe the lipstick you like to use, hot brown.
Yeah, but I think he might be going. She looks like an evil character. I'm not sure if she is, because that's why maybe he went for a very dark lipstick. I don't know.
I don't know, but I feel like it could have a lot more warmth to it.
Maybe because if you went for a more natural looking lipstick, that she would definitely look more kind, natural looking lady. But if the character is evil, then that makes sense for the theme.
Yeah, I just feel I'm not talking about bright red because it'd too stark. Yeah, it'd just capture all of your focus. You'd just be right there.
Lip.
Yeah, but whereas I just feel like it's too brown. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it looks a lot closer to the corset color.
But yeah, no, I believe it is the same as the corset color. But it could just be his first stage and he's just going to put the skin color over the top of that to give it some depth.
Yeah, we'll see how it progresses and all that.
Yeah, no.
But I don't really mind how it's looking so far.
Yeah, no, I think it's looking great thus far. But, we've got to see where it progresses. I think the color choice is good. Subtle, desaturated, warm colors and then very bright, vibrant blues. I like the contrast.
Yes.
All right. Now, next up, we've got Isaac Snyder. I had a conversation with him this morning. Yeah. Because it just said, no questions answered. And, every time I look at that, I'm like, ugh. And then I just contacted him and he's like, where? What questions, huh? Who's doing what in the where now? And I'm like, I see Facebook's playing funny buggers. So, yeah. I think that these guys are looking great, but would you like to read that
it's
out?
the Nordic fellas.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Isaac, also a new member. Just found this page the other day. It's cool to find a painting group in Queensland. Currently working on more linemen for my Blood Bowl team.
Just to let you know, Isaac, we are international, but yes, we are based in Queensland. So let's take a look here. So I think with these colours, like they are just spot on.
I think he's following the box art.
Well,
right?
see, the box art would be slightly different. So
Really?
with this, they would be darker, I think, and have a bit more colour to them.
Well, it does look very sort of turquoisey or
Yeah,
teal.
it does. It
Yeah.
does. And like I think that looks good. I think that he's done really well with the pigskin. I think that he's like I look at all of this.
It's
like
incredibly
great skin.
readable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy that you're pointing at right now. His face, the side shot, the skin looks so smooth in the head.
Yeah.
It's so very nicely done.
But also, what I like here is what he's done, and he's done it like better than me, I think, is the steel. So whether this is non-metallic or whether this is metallic, it doesn't matter either way. That, I think, has come up really well on each of their little glaive sort of things. What are those things called? Punch daggers? I don't know.
What, the knuckle spikes?
Yeah.
Forget what they're called.
Oh, but see, they're not knuckle dusters. They're like there's something else entirely because they got blades on them and stuff. But I think that they look really, really good.
I would say character level.
Yo, yeah. So, Isaac, for your information, we put things into 3 categories. Tabletop, which is painted to get it on the table. Everything's readable. 2 is character level, your personal best. 3 is showcase level. And showcase is where you're pushing beyond your normal limits. You're trying to be the best painter you can be. So I think like the only criticism I had of this is what are you trying to do with your pants? And you're not helping.
What are you doing with your pants, man? They're on some pants.
Shush. Why?
Okay. I think it's meant to read as black, maybe.
Yeah, and see, like that's what I was going to say. Like, I think it's meant to read as black, but it seems more like a
gray.
Yeah, more like maybe a dark gray, or maybe a light gray. That's the only real criticism that I had when I took a look at these, which was, what are you aiming for? Like, they look fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But if you're aiming for black, that is not black.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that's all I'd say. And as always, we try and tell people what they've done well, where they can improve and that sort of thing. I think if these are on your sort of standard Blood Bowl pitch with the very bright, vibrant green grass and the white stripe, I think these will contrast so well.
Yeah, because the model's quite muted, and then you got a vibrant grass.
Yeah.
It'll really pop.
Yes, yeah. So then next up, and I think this is our final one,
Jason Tate. I offer this up for Flashback Friday, a resin model by Boris Wallison.
Well,
is that how you say it?
Wallison. I feel like it's the thing from Age of Empires, you know, when the priests try and convert your guys to the other side. Hello!
Wallison. That's the chant.
They call that out, and then like all of a sudden, you know, you start losing your guys, and you're like, no.
A mini sculptor I follow on Patreon. She's a delightfully creepy hag-like figure. Interesting. He called the nurse. Okay. I wanted to give the impression of her being caught in a horizontal light spill from a window. or open door as she makes her way down a moonlit alleyway. I'm not happy with how she's currently painted, but can't place exactly where I have gone astray. To that end, she's been placed on hold for quite a while. Her base isn't completed yet either,
Yeah.
but I feel that it would be best to get her right and use the base to accentuate the effects even more. And yes.
All right. So let's take a good proper look at it first. So stealing a baby, obviously. So
the baby looks very biblical, might I?
Yes, it does look like biblical art baby with a very sort of D&D styled model, which is unusual. So, okay, here's what I would say, right? The transition is too stark, and the other part is I don't know where I'm meant to look at with this model, right? So, when I look at it front on here, right? I'm like, okay, where am I meant to be looking? It's very sort of samey throughout.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I disagree with you on that because if it's like a window open or like a door that's ajar, it's just one stream of light. So the shadow to light is very stark.
But see, like, here's the issue with that, right? Okay, let's go to an area where we can... So... here, right, we see that very bright light and see what happens is when we have those lights, like you've had that with a light, and what you'll see is, like, taking a look at this sort of turquoise here, right, it's come up too bright, in my opinion. What it should be doing is coming up in vibrancy, right, because the light allows the colors to be seen, and then what needs to be happening is it goes back here and it becomes less vibrant, and then there is the stark cutoff. You know what I'm saying?
I think I think the issue with this one is that perhaps the light stream is too broad. It's like half and half. Half the model is lit and the other half is not lit at all. So for the idea that he's going for, I think the amount of light that's being shown on the lighted area is too broad.
I do think that there's one thing. What are you using this model for? So
fair enough.
No. I'm being serious. What are you using this model for? The reason I say that is this. I take a look at it, right? You are trying to, do this very specific scene. Why aren't you just trying to do a diorama?
Right. Yeah, a diorama would really help this.
Yeah, it would help set the scene, right? And see here, I look at this and I see all these skulls, right? And I see that her face is very much like a skull. And what I'm trying to do is sort of trying to figure out the scene as I go, right? So I'm imagining that I haven't been given this background story.
Yes.
And I'm imagining, okay, and I feel like I'm like your favorite, what's it called? Starballs? No, what?
Starballs.
You know where that guy goes, what the hell am I looking at?
Oh, I don't remember that movie name.
But yeah,
you're the one who introduced that clip to me.
Yeah. But like,
that's 30 of Star Wars.
Yeah. That's what I feel like I'm looking at when I'm like right here.
What the hell am I looking at?
Yeah. And I think the other reason is the skulls, right? Like I feel like here in the absolute light, they should go way up in value. Like they should be much lighter, and then, so like, for example, along here, along there, along the cheekbone, and along the jaw, like it should be lighter there. But I do think definitely, unless you've got like some warband that you're 100% on, I think if you actually set this up in a diorama, you'll be able to sort of set things a lot better. You like make the little diorama piece like just rough, put the model in there, and you're like, does this fit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like Henry said, what is the purpose that you're going for? If you're gonna play with it, then maybe don't think too much of it.
Well, no, I don't think that that's right. I think that if he wants to do a painting exercise with the model, of course. But I think if you're painting this purely for the love of painting, for trying to push yourself, for trying to find, yourself as a painter, like, not every model has to go on a base.
Okay.
They can be a part of a diorama. They can be a part of whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it like this. But that's just my thoughts. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's right. And there is a lot of people in here who have a lot more experience with light and darks. So that looks like it is.
We've got to refresh.
Oh, yes, we do have to refresh just in case. Because I think Jason was new there. No, it's Jason.
Okay.
It's just Jason.
It's just Jason. That could be a new sitcom.
Yes, it's just Jason. Jason.
It's Triple
and
J.
Carlos.
Jason and Carlos.
Yes. And Jason will be like generic guy, and he'll be like, and then it'll be Carlos. I am very ambiguous. It's like, well, I'm going to work. Yes. Do I have work? Who knows? But what I do want to say is thank you very much, guys, for, making this place what it is week in, week out.
Yeah.
Because, look, there's a reason why we call it What Are You Painting Now? We're not... Because, the thing is, it's not... Painting isn't a celebration of your greatest moment of all time, right? Where you did the thing perfectly. Painting is an ongoing process. There's an old phrase which says, art is never finished.
Yeah.
In response to... Yeah, see, there is the
okay,
card.
I see that.
Yeah.
Well, I would say now that perhaps not enough of the lighter brown tone to highlight.
I just thought he was going for a much darker sort of skin tone.
Yeah, I mean, if it's by the card, I do think it could be
if it's by the card,
a bit
yeah,
more
sure.
lighter. Great for shadow, though, what he's gone for.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the point. One thing that we want to say before we go is there was that saying, art is never finished. And this was meant to say, you can't ever perfect things. But I think there's another way of saying that art's never finished. I think it's saying that art is always about the process.
Yeah, art is truly the celebration of thought, I would say. Art is what brings forth the innovation. And then it's what brings forth the ideas. And then people try to make it into a reality if they can. But that is why it's more about the process. It's more about the thinking that goes into creating something.
Well, if I could paint as well as I picture things in my head, I think I'd be a much better painter. But that doesn't mean that, you're going to get there. The thing is, take a look as art as a process. And community is exactly the same. It is all of these people commenting on these things, right? Mm-hmm. There might be 150 people here, right? But it seems to be the same exact people who are the ones who keep it alive. And you guys know who you are. You are the people who are liking the things, who are commenting on the things, who are giving that little bit of feedback. And guys, girls, trust me, that little push can make somebody's day and can make somebody's week bearable.
Makes them feel like my work is worth something,
All right. Yeah. With that said, Keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.